Hi, my name is HANNIA, and this is our project for this semester of the nature of life. I'm going to introduce my teammates: Jessica Cabello, Jorge Americo, Marlen de Luna, Jesus Abelardo, Boris Isaac, Fernando Tovar, and HANNIA, me.
Climate change is currently a problem that will continue to advance on a large scale and will produce all kinds of adverse phenomena, such as rising sea levels, increased droughts, higher global temperatures, etc. Air pollution is one of the greatest threats on the development of the sustainable environment, since it's the alternation of air quality and purity levels due to natural emissions of chemical and biological substances. Air pollution is divided into diverse types, which include primary pollutants, which are those that come directly from emission sources such as lead, carbon monoxide, sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides, hydrocarbons, and particulate matter.
Secondary pollutants originate in the air by the interaction between two or more primary pollutants or by their reactions with other components of the atmosphere, as in the case of ozone, peroxyacetyl, nitrates, sulfates, nitrates, and sulfuric acid. Without knowing it, human activity also has a great responsibility in making air pollution worse and worse. Therefore, we believe that it's necessary to make the population aware of the great problem that this pollution is causing, so that they change their way of thinking a little, so that this problem that is increasing stops a little, so that we can breathe clean air.
Theoretical framework. Nicholas Mills concludes that observational studies consistently report acute cardiovascular events associated with an increase in participate air pollution. Recent exposure studies suggest multiple possible mechanistic pathways where heavy particles may exert adverse effects on the cardiovascular system. Systemic inflammation and endothelial dysfunction are central to this hypothesis. If particles or soluble components are located into the bloodstream, they anticipate direct effects on atherosclerotic plaque stability, the vascular endothelium, platelet function, and thrombosis. Ongoing research in this area will yield considerable insights into these pathways, with the possibility of therapeutic intervention to reduce the impact of environmental PM on cardiovascular disease, a realistic goal. Joel Schwartz concluded that air pollution is not the leading cause of death or morbidity in children in the developed world. However, there is increasingly convincing evidence that air pollution is associated with a non-trivial increase in the risk of death and chronic disease in children, worse pregnancy outcomes, and exacerbation of illnesses. It's less clear which pollutants are most responsible, but particles and ozone have the strongest associations. For the incidence of asthma, traffic pollution, particularly from trucks, seems to be the key player. What is important to realize is that it is an easily modifiable risk. Sulfur particles, a major fraction of the particulate bordering the air in urban areas, can be easily removed using scrubbers on power plants, their largest sources, at a cost that is 1% of the current price of electricity. NOx reduction, a major component of an ozone reduction strategy, can be also retrofitted onto power plants. In Europe, catalytic converters on cars can be brought up to US standards. Traffic particles, NOx, and so forth are dominated by diesel engines. Trap oxiders and catalysts can reduce these emissions by up to 90%. Such devices have been on gasoline-powered vehicles for decades without ending industrial civilization as we know it. For many of these control strategies, it doesn't matter that we are not sure which component of the pollution mix is principal or responsible.
Johann van Groestigen and Paul Hessling, they concluded that because of the growing interest in biotechniques for off-gas treatment, a strong increase of number of practical applications as well of the numbers of publications and conferences on the subject can be observed. It is realized that these techniques are efficient and cost-effective methods for more than one reduction only. The application area is still expanding, higher flow rates and higher concentrations can be treated. Although the systems are more suitable for elimination of well water soluble and biodegradable contaminants, a clear extension to the xenobiotic and hydrophobic compounds is going on. At present, research and development for such new applications is focused on elimination of hydrophobic and inorganic compounds, mixtures of contaminants, increase of volume capacity, shortening of adaptation period, reliable and constant operation at fluctuating loads, and elucidation of kinetics and microbiology. Although microbiological processes form the basis of the systems, still a lack of understanding is observed in this field. Therefore, through study of the microbiology and biotechniques for air pollution control is needed. Helmut Meyer concluded that air quality in cities is getting worse as the population trends, industrialization, and energy use increase. Urban air pollutants show typical annual, weekly, and diurnal cycles. Some air pollutions are present in high concentrations, often above white line, especially in cities of non-industrialized countries. Available time series of air pollutions in cities are often too short, especially in non-industrialized countries. Precluding meaningful statistical trend analysis of urban air pollutants, where long-term trends can be calculated. They are decreases for most classical air pollutants other than O3, especially in industrialized countries. Time series of 03 show not statistically significant trend in most cities worldwide. From a review of trends in air quality in different cities made by Mage et al. 1996, it is quite evident that history repeats itself. The experience of current megacities in the developed countries is being repeated in the developing countries. Before rapid industrial development takes place, air pollution arises from domestic sources and light industry. Concentrations of air pollutants are low and increase slowly as population increases.
As industrial development and energy use grow, air pollution levels begin to rise rapidly. The urban air pollution becomes a serious public health concern, and emission controls are introduced. Due to the complexity of the situation, an immediate improvement in air quality cannot usually be achieved. At best, the situation is stabilized and serious air pollution persists for sometimes several megacities, studied by Mage et al. 1996, are now in the state where additional controls must be implemented without delay. Experience has shown that the introduction of emission controls is followed by a staged reduction of air pollution as controls take. The earlier the integrated enforceable air quality management plans are enacted, the lower the maximum pollution levels that will occur. This is important for those cities, especially in developing countries, which are not of the size and complexity of present-day megacities. Air quality management should, therefore, be implemented in those cities where strategic planning is weak or non-existent in half of megacities. Due to the insecurity of air quality information in many cities of the world, there is an immediate worldwide need to improve the monitoring and evaluation systems for urban air pollution. Jonathan A. Bernstein et al. They conclude although early epidemiologic studies of effects of air pollution on human health provide only associated data. The body of current scientific data now clearly delineates the role of pollution, adverse interaction in humans, allergy, airways disease. The allergist clinical immunologist should be nearly aware that both gaseous and particulate outdoor pollutions might be aggravated or enhance the underlying pathophysiology of both the upper and lower airways, although the health effects of gaseous positions were the chief concern during the last half of the 20th century. Participant positions might prove to be in formidable help. How can this added information be used in a pragmatic way by practicing clinicians? Patients should be advised to minimize outdoor acting during days with high pollution or smoke level. In choosing new residential location, patients should give preference to sites remote from heavy automobile traffic or chemical manufacturing paints. Finally, as patient advocates physically, both individually
and as a member of large health organizations should support social control of air pollution and rally against attempts to weaken science-based regulatory air pollution standards. To this end, the physician should become familiar with current exposure guidelines for compounds considered to be a risk for inducing or exacerbating asthma, as determined by the Environment Protection Agency and non-government agencies such as the American Conference of Government Industrial Hygienists. According to the Management Program to Improve Air Quality in the State of Nuevo León, Pro Air 2016 to 2025, unpaved roads, extraction of non-metallic minerals, stone quarries and material banks, construction activities, oil and petrochemical industry, electricity generation, and agriculture are the 6 main sources of PM10 particle emission, since together they emit 70% of this pollutant group. The extraction of non-metallic minerals, quarries and material banks, the petroleum and petrochemical industry, and the generation of electricity and domestic combustion are responsible for 56% of suspended particles smaller than 2.5 micrometers in the environment. Finally, the use of fossil fuels by preventing more vehicles is the main responsible for the emission of volatile organic compounds, representing 15% of the total observed, and nitrogen oxides, representing 29% of the total emitted. This group of compounds are known to be precursor gases of tropospheric ozone.
Hypothesis: air pollution may be related to the generation of respiratory disease in people. Testing hypothesis: we believe that the best way to test the hypothesis is to analyze different studies that the Secretary of Health of our state has conducted to measure the disease of population, since the problem of air pollution has increased. Also, to interview citizens about whether they have ever had any allergies that they consider to be caused by poor air quality.
The air contamination is a serious problem, adversely affecting both human health and the environment. Substances like greenhouse gases and nitrogen oxides can lead to respiratory problems and cardiovascular diseases. To fight this issue effectively, a strategy is needed, encompassing stricter regulations, adoption of cleaner technologies, and increased public awareness to minimize the negative consequences on our health and on Earth.
In summary, air pollution poses a significant and widespread challenge, impacting both the environment and human health on a global scale. The continued releases of pollutants from various human activities demands urgent attention and concerted efforts. The consequences ranging from respiratory illnesses to ecological disruptions and climate change underscore the critical need for comprehensive solution. Addressing air pollution necessitates a multifaceted approach, including international cooperation, stringent regulation, technological innovations, and heightened public awareness. Transitioning to cleaner energy sources, improving industrial practices, promoting sustainable transportation, and implementing effective waste management are vital components of mitigating air pollution.
Air pollution poses a serious threat to human health and environmental balance. Atmospheric pollutions, such as fine particles and toxic gases, contribute to the development of respiratory, cardiovascular, and other health issues. Additionally, air pollution has an adverse impact on soil, water quality, and biodiversity, affecting entire ecosystems. To address this challenge, it's imperative to implement global and local measures that reduce pollutant emissions. The adoption of cleaner technologies, the promotion of sustainable transportation, and the transition to renewable energy sources are crucial steps. By working together to implement effective solutions, we can preserve the planet's health and ensure a cleaner and more sustainable future for generations to come.
Conclusion: air contamination and scale increases fueled by the industrialization, vehicular emissions, and human activities presents a multifaceted menace to our existence. Beyond its evident impact on respiratory illness and mortality rates, this pervasive pollution undermines agricultural productivity, damages ecosystems, erodes infrastructure, and amplifies the effects of climate change. Urgent intervention demands a comprehensive strategy encompassing policy reforms, technological innovations, public awareness campaigns, and cross-border collaboration to mitigate emissions, prioritize clean energy alternatives, and preserve the sanctity of our atmosphere. The collective responsibility falls upon individuals, industries, and governments worldwide to enact immediate and sustained measures, ensuring cleaner air for healthier communities and a sustainable planet.
Air pollution is a matter of great concern for the world's population because it not only affects the environmental conditions, but it's also extremely dangerous for the health of living beings in general. That is why it is important to keep ourselves informed about how to counteract the effects that this can cause.
Air conditions are the determining factor in the measuring of the development of the respiratory diseases in the population of a place. Pollution is caused by the multitude of reasons, from the consumer society to the production of air pollution through mega factories and combustion of chemical materials.
The detrimental impact of air pollution on climate change is undeniable. Emissions from various sources contribute to global warming, disrupt ecosystems, and pose several threats to human health. Addressing this issue requires a concerted effort to reduce pollution transmission to clean technology and implement sustainable practices. Taking decisive action against air pollution is essential for mitigating climate change and preserving the well-being of our planet.